It's championship time in Arkansas as it's the 5A state title game between Jonesboro and Van Buren here in Benton, Arkansas. Hello everyone, I'm R.J. Hawk alongside Bobby Swafford. We're getting straight to action as Van Buren is the visiting team, and they will be at the plate first with Hayden Roark. And his first pitch that time coming from Jonesboro's Josh Heineman is a ball that was missed inside, and that's going to start the count 1-0 to Roark.
Setting the table, RJ, that's going to be the key for Roark into the top half of this Van Buren lineup. Got to find a way to get to Heineman, who's 7-0, 2.00 ERA. And get this, opposing batters hitting just 149 against the Jonesboro right-hander.
57 strikeouts on the season for Heineman as it's a wild pitch that goes back behind the head of Roark. You know, you get those state championship jitters just a little bit, and you see that in every, whether it be basketball, football, you see that now here in baseball.
Yeah, it doesn't matter that we're here in Benton and not at Baum Stadium like we normally are for the state championship game. Those nerves in the first few innings are going to be there for both squads.
Here's a jam shot on the inside, and that time Roark fouls it off and evens the count at 2-2.
Nice job by Roark, though. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to do, start to run that pitch count up, make Heineman throw strikes, try to earn his way on base.
2-2's the count. Here's the pitch by Heineman as it swung on and fouled back. Hanging tough is Roark. Roark is a kid that's being recruited by UA Fort Smith and Arkansas Tech right now. A lot of kids on this Van Buren team getting college offers or looks so far here in their junior-senior season.
You're starting to see why they're in the state championship game, 26-7 on the season. And nice job by Roark there to check his swing.
And the 2-2 pitch was in the dirt. They appeal down the line, and it's 3-2 now. Fans weren't too happy with that, as this is the first at bat in the 5A state title game. 3-2's on the way. And he caught him on the inside. That's out number one here in the top of the first.
Yeah, not sure if Roark was sneaking fastball or off speed there, but Heineman able to sneak a fastball right on the inside portion of the plate and gets his first KO of the day.
Up next for Van Buren is going to be Sammy Seeger, who is committed to go to the University of Arkansas Fort Smith. When you look at this Van Buren team, boy, the sticks have been really good. This is a team that's hitting over 300 this year as a team, and really potent lineup from top to bottom.
It really is, and a lot of it's going to be the top of the lineup. And, of course, we'll get to Connor Johnson in the cleanup spot. But finding ways to produce runs, get guys on base, find a way to scratch them across, and that's what you've got to be able to do to be successful. And they obviously did that, capturing a 5A West title.
First pitch is outside low, 1-0. Check swing, he does go through and evens the count at 1-1. Today's battery for Jonesboro, you've got Josh Heineman on the mound, Rhett Rossman behind the plate. In the outfield, Jake Henry Williams at first, Dawson Wagner at second, Riker Aceboo at short as there's a check swing that is going to go foul to make the count 1-2. Ty Rhodes is over at third base. You've got Wilbur Ray in left, cross jumper in center, and Brennan Payne in right field for Jonesboro.
We've already seen 3 check swings through a first batter and a half here, so you can tell that means Heineman's stuff's got some late movement. Van Buren batters are having a hard time pulling the trigger.
Here's the 1-2. Swung on and fouled out of play. You know, one thing that Heineman is he's really enjoying so far is being able to work outside in. You're seeing a fastball that hits that outside corner. That's where you're seeing a lot of the check swings, but then he comes right back in and just tries to jam up the batter. Here's the 1-2. Curveball swung on and fouled back and keeps the count at 1-2. Curveball that time, 75 miles an hour.
Got to give a lot of credit to the first 2 batters for Van Buren, Roark, and now Seeger. They're working the count. Already 12 pitches to the first batter and a half here.
Heineman has the sign. Here's the 1-2. Swung on, popped up into center field. It's going to be a can of corn for cross jumper, and that's 2 outs now here in the top of the first.
Nice job there again by Heineman. Just puts the ball over the plate, tries to make Van Buren beat him with the stick, and that time can't do it. An easy fly ball to center.
So up next, that's going to bring up Tanner Callahan. He's the catcher today for Van Buren. Van Buren, by the way, comes in 26-7 on the year under Luke Weatherford. So with 2 outs, Callahan steps in from the left-handed batter's box. Swung on, dribbler that's going to go out to second base. Wagner picks it up, flips it to first, and that's going to do it for the top of the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors in the top of the first inning. We head to the bottom of the first, and you're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
For students, it's always more fun to include the arts when you're learning. I mean, just to have expression, to see different forms of entertainment, it always just makes it more fun. And when I heard that my mother was recording different sections that teachers were gonna see, I was excited for the students who will get to use it in their classroom.
Arkansas PBS is a place where everyone can see themselves, where everyone can find themselves, where everyone can be a part of something bigger than themselves.
It is. And, you know, you're keeping a box score, so.
Yeah.
Back here in Benton, it's the 5A state title game between Van Buren and Jonesboro. Bobby Swaffer, RJ Hawk, and got a good one so far as we just wrapped up the top of the first inning.
You can support your team and join the conversation on social media. Just use the hashtag ARPBSSports. Do it now. Talking to you, RJ.
So on the mound for Van Buren is going to be Connor Johnson. And Johnson, a right-handed pitcher who, as we talked about, is the Division I prospect for these Pointers. He's headed to the University of Central Arkansas to play baseball. And just look at that frame, Bobby. He got a great fastball. It mixes up with some curveballs and really, I think, thrives on his off-speed stuff.
Yeah, he's a power pitcher, a right-hander, and Coach Luke Weatherford was a little worried about how ready was he going to be on the short turnaround coming back from the state tournament to this early pitch on a Thursday, but he's a gamer. You know, he pretty much carried his team. Obviously, it's a team effort, but he got his team here to the championship game, and he wasn't going to give the ball up with a chance to win a title. Today's battery for Van Buren, you've got Johnson on the mound. Tanner Callahan's behind the plate at first base. You've got Sammy Seeger. Brecken Waters at short. Eli Gilreath is going to be at third base. Connor Brady in left field. Hayden Roark in center. And Kai Henry is in right field. So up first for Jonesboro is going to be Dawson Wagner. Wagner on the season batting .430 with 18 RBI. Works from that left-handed batter's box. First pitch is swung on, and it's a Texas leaguer into left field for the first base hit of the ball game. A nice job by Wagner. Just goes inside out with the swing, goes the other way, takes what's given to him, and it's a way to start the table because they've got some thumpers in the middle of this lineup. This Jonesboro, you're talking about Ty Rhodes with 52 RBIs and two more behind him with at least 44 RBIs. And obviously, he's going to have a lot of runs scored because he sets the table for that power lineup.
And you talk about the power lineup that Van Buren's got. It's just as impressive over at Jonesboro's. Cross jumpers at the plate, lays down a bunt up the third base side, but it goes foul.
I like the idea there for Jonesboro. Try to scratch across that first run of the day. You know, it's always advantageous to strike first and try to get you a cheap run.
You know, Bobby, one thing about this Jonesboro team, not only do they hit high in average, but really everybody on this team is a home run hitter. I mean, you look at Cross Jumper, he's got 5 home runs on the season. He's second on the team. There's 3 players on this team with 5 home runs.
It's going to take a little bit of a shot today, as thick as the air is. It's really humid here in Benton right now, but just 320 down the line, so a good swing could get one out.
Here's a bunt that's popped up foul, and that takes the count to 0-2. As Bobby said, 320 down the lines at left and right. In the power alleys, it's 355, and at center field, 375 here at Everett Field in Benton.
So take a poke to get it out to dead center, as tall as the wall is out there, and fouls off another one directly behind us.
0-2's the count. First hit of the ball game was taken by Jonesboro as they led off the bottom of the first inning. Runner at first base. Here's the 0-2. Swung on, popped up high into left field. Coming in is Brady. And he'll make the catch and left for the first out here in the bottom of the first inning.
Nice job by Johnson there just to continue to pound the strike zone and gets the lazy fly ball to left.
So with Dawson Wagner standing at first base for Jonesboro, that'll bring up Ty Rhodes, who's playing third base today. Rhodes hitting .455 with 52 RBI. Throw over to first and
first look we've seen at Johnson trying to pick the runner at first. Wasn't his best move. We'll save that for a little later in the game.
Here's the curveball that caught the outside corner to start the count at 0-1.
Nice job to change it up a little bit there for Johnson. Starts with the off-speed pitch. Decent contact, the lead off, lazy fly ball, the second batter there, but starts a third hitter off the 3-hole. Little breaking ball.
Here's the 0-1. High and outside. Take the count at 1-1. You know, one thing about Rhodes, he's got 52 RBI, hitting .455, but he's had 16 doubles this year, along with 4 home runs. As a pickoff move back to first base has got Wagner back safely.
They go guard him foul line to foul line. Do you have to do Rhodes for Van Buren? They're playing him pretty much straight up. Center fielder is shaded a bit the other direction, though.
Here's a pitch out, throw down to second, and in safely is Wagner at second base. Throw was a little high and outside, and it allowed for Wagner to get a stolen base and get in at second base.
You can see why Johnson was so worried about Wagner there at first. He shows off the speed, just does beat the throw. And the one thing about playing on turf, RJ, fans, if you haven't seen baseball on turf, they've got to start the slide a whole lot earlier because you could slide over a bag pretty easily. Nice job by Dawson Wagner there to swipe the bag and maintain the bag as well.
Here's the 2-1 curveball down the first base line,
Great
knocked
play.
down. He'll step on the bag for the second out, but that's going to advance Wagner over to third base. But what a great job by Sammy Seager to be able to knock that ball down. That was a hard hit ball down the first base line.
He saved a run, a great diving stop, as you mentioned, RJ, just to knock that one down, keep it in play, able to finish it off himself. Sammy Seager saves a run for Van Buren.
There's 2 outs now here in the bottom of the first inning with a runner at third. And now the cleanup hitter, Rhett Hossman, is at the plate. Curveball misses outside.
Got a good angle at the strike zone, if you will. That one kind of hovered over the outside edge, but the last second it dove down and out. Good call by the home plate umpire to get that one correct.
1-0 is fouled back to even the count at 1 apiece. Hossman on the year hitting .495, 39 RBI. Here's the 1-1. That is right down Broadway that time to take the count to 1-2.
Johnson starting to settle in now has a chance to get out of this first inning jam. Needs one more quality pitch.
1-2's outside. Takes the count at 2-2.
That one at 86. Johnson really going to sit in that mid-80 range, so kind of reared back and threw a little extra on that one and pulled it across his body well outside the strike zone.
Here's the 2-2, and it's a strike on the outside corner. Came with the fastball that time and was able to get out of the inning untouched. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors in the bottom of the first. We head to the top of the second, and you're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
1, 2, 3, turn up! Whoa. What's going on, man? Let's go!
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Farmers Farmers and Merchants Bank and the Bank of Fayetteville share the mission of Arkansas PBS to enrich and empower all Arkansans. Community, dignity, respect. That's what Me Banking is all about. More at mebanking.com.
If you want to download photos from the game, you can do it. So all you have to do is go to myarpbs.org/photos. And that was a picture-perfect pitch to wrap things up there in the bottom of the first for Connor Johnson. Gets his first KO of the day.
Well, the good news is, Bobby, is the umpire behind the plate,
Generous.
Sam Breeding, is allowing to paint those corners because, you know, I think if you were watching at home, you saw that it was a little bit outside. And, you know, for a state championship game, though, I don't mind that as much. Because
as long as he's consistent, to be honest. But most people don't care what the strike zone looks like as long as it looks the same the entire game.
For sure, for sure. So Van Buren's back at the plate as Connor Johnson. He's working from the right-handed batter's box as the fastball is low. Comes in at 89 miles an hour, and it's 1-0.
Pitcher versus pitcher here after Van Buren was set down in order. Van Buren pitcher, the cleanup hitter for the Pointers.
1-0 pitch on the way. Swung on and fouled back. Takes the count at 1-1.
89 off the arm there from Heineman, so he can get it up there.
1 ball, 1 strike as we start the top of the second inning. There's a swing and a drive to left field. Got a chance if it stays fair, and it goes foul.
Johnson just ahead of that pitch, but he was able to turn on it. Started well fair, but hooked just before it crossed over that foul line. But it had no problem clearing the fence here at the 320 mark down the left field line.
1 ball, 2 strikes now. As Heineman has the sign. Here's the pitch. Swung on, driven to left field. And this one's going to go foul. He's moved it over more towards the line this time.
Yeah. You can tell Heineman's really trying to work Johnson in, and you get a chance to look at the replay of this next pitch. Look at where Johnson's lining up on the batter's box. He has got the toes on that front line, so he is crowding the plate. Heineman's trying to jam it in there underneath his hands, but Johnson has been able to turn on back-to-back pitches, but unable to keep either one of them fair, and you can see how close he is to the plate. It's a good shot of it right there.
1-2's the count. Curveball out to short. Picked up by Espo, and he throws it across for the first out here in the top of the second inning.
Nice job by Heineman to bounce back after one really loud strike to come back and battle back to retire his opposing pitcher.
The way that Johnson was turning on pitches, you almost want to stay outside and not go inside. He had quick hands. Jammed him up on that last one. Now Eli Gilreath is going to come to the plate. Fastball is going to hit at the knees.
91 on the in-stadium radar. Tell Heineman's juiced up here in the second inning. He sat mid-80s in that first inning.
0-1 pitch is driven out to left field, going back in the gap, and it's going to be out of here. Goes over the 355 sign, and he's going to round the bases for our first run of the ball game.
If you're in the Arkansas PBS truck, you probably heard a little rattle there as that one might have bounced on or even over the truck beyond the power gap, and Gilreath got all of that one. Came in at 90 and left to probably closer to 100 as the Pointers strike first.
I think that's what they call exit speed.
Whew, that exit velocity.
And so that's our first run of the ball game in the 5A title game. With 1 out here in the top of the second, now Presley Nichols is going to come to the plate.
Really impressive swing by Gilreath there. There was really no doubt about that one. When it left the bat, you knew it was going to land in the parking lot.
So Presley's going to come to the plate, works from that left-handed batter's box. They've got to shift over to the first base bag as pitch is on, swung on to right field. As coming up is Payne, and he'll make the catch for the second out.
Nichols wasting little time, put a good swing on it, but right at Payne in right field for the second out of the inning. A nice bounce back pitch there for Heineman.
So now Brecken Waters comes up. He's the shortstop today for Van Buren. Heineman, eyes in. Here's the pitch. Fastball low and away. Two outs here in the top of the second inning. 1-0. Van Buren on top of Jonesboro. Here's the pitch. Hits the dirt or the turf. Makes the count 1-1. Or excuse me, 2-0.
Most entertaining things I've ever seen in a baseball game was the first game an umpire did with a turf field.
Yeah.
He actually stepped around to dust off home plate and realized it's not really a plate.
Yeah. Here's the 2-0 pitch that comes in there at 87 miles an hour, and it's 2-1. Well, you know what? It kind of comes as a habit. As somebody that used to umpire baseball games, if you want to slow things down just a little bit, kind of regain your composure, you go and dust off the plate. This one's popped up into shallow right field, and it's going to go foul. Takes the count 2-2. It's like a nervous twitch. you go around there and dust off that plate.
Yeah. He did a nice job of trying to brush it off. He kind of leaned over, looked at it, and stood up straight and acted like he was stretching his back out. But it was well documented what he was trying to do.
Poor guy. But you think about it, though, having these all-turf fields is quite awesome, because if you have rain like what we're expecting later today, it has a tendency to drain a little bit faster.
Absolutely. You don't have to worry about raking the infield.
2-2 swung on and lifted to right field. Payne's right there and is going to gather it for the out. But not until Van Buren strikes with a home run in the top of the second inning to take a 1-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Van Buren 1, Jonesboro 0. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Now, more than ever, community is important. Local schools, businesses, and charities are in need of support. Each one of us can make a difference. When you volunteer, give, shop locally, or simply participate, you help support and grow your community. It makes us all stronger when we all are involved. I'm Susie Everett with Everett Buick GMC. We're proud to be a part of this wonderful community and want to encourage each of you to be involved in yours.
We head to the bottom of the second inning with Van Buren on top 1-0 here in Benton for the 5A state title game. I'm RJ Hawk with Bobby Swafford, and back on the mound for Van Buren is Connor Johnson. He'll be facing Jake Henry Williams, the leadoff man for Jonesboro.
See if Johnson changes his approach. Obviously, we're early in the game, but does he continue to pound the strike zone like he did in the first inning now that he's got a small but at least a one-run lead?
Curveball went a little high that time to start off 1-0. Jonesboro back in the first inning did get a base hit by Dawson Wagner as the 1-0 pitch misses low, and it's 2-0. Jake Henry Williams on the year hitting .476 with 51 RBI and 5 home runs. 2-0 swung on, lifted to the left, and it's going to go well foul.
Kind of similar look to what we saw in the last half inning. You mentioned the power numbers, 51 RBIs and 5 home runs. He's used to being at the plate with Hurricane runners on the pass, but that time turned on it a bit too much. Well foul, but also well clear of the left field wall.
Well, I tell you, when you look at that Jonesboro middle of the lineup, has the 2-1s on the way and swung on, popped up to right. Going back is Henry, and he'll make the catch for the first out. But when you look at the middle of the lineup for Jonesboro, you've got Rhodes with 52 RBI, Hossman with 39, Williams with 51, and then Bentley with 44. That's a pretty stout middle of the lineup.
Yeah, you go 3 through 6 there with, I'm a guesstimate at 175 RBIs. That's pretty good pop in the middle of your lineup. It also shows you the table setting of Wagner and Jumper and how big it was to get that first out of that first inning to retire Jumper and allowed Wagner to be left on the pass.
Here's Sawyer Bentley with the first strike. Comes in at 85 on the outside corner. 0-1's on the way. Swung on and missed. 0-2 quickly.
Nice job to elevate the fastball there. 86 up around the numbers. Feels more like 90. And Bentley not able to catch up with it.
0-2's on the way. Fastball misses outside, and 1-2.
It's a good pitch. Probably more of the strike zone or more of the plate than you expect a 0-2 pitch to catch, but does not get the call.
Here's the 1-2 offering. Swung on and fouled out of play. And I think really, going back and talking about all the RBI production out of the middle of this lineup, that's kind of a testament to what Connor Johnson's done so far, is keeping these guys off balance. Here's the 1-2, swung on and popped up out of play.
He's working quick too. He's not wasting any time. He gets his signal from his catcher Tanner Callahan, and he goes to work in a hurry.
One out here in the bottom of the second. Here's the 1-2 curveball that misses high, and it's 2-2.
Didn't get the bites on that one that he wanted. Didn't get on top of that curveball, so just kind of spun and stayed north of the strike zone.
2-2 pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and fouled back. Sawyer Bentley battling right now. He's the DH today for Jonesboro.
27 pitches now. The first 5 batters.
2-2 fastball out to short. Right there to gather it up is Waters, and he throws it across for the second out.
Nice job to get inside on the hands of Bentley there, and Johnson gets the easy ground out. He's got quickly 2 outs here in the bottom of the second.
So now you've got Josh Heineman coming up. He's the pitcher for Jonesboro. 341 batter, has 5 home runs with 34 RBI. Two outs here in the bottom of the second inning. 1-0's our scores. Van Buren picked up that run here in the top of the second.
See this a lot in high school game. Pitchers hitting for themselves. Heineman was able to retire Johnson with the ground outs. His first at bat. Now Johnson's going to try to retire his counterpart.
First pitch to him, swung on and fouled back.
Just like the pace that really both of these pitchers work with.
Yeah. There's the 0-1. Curveball misses high. One thing that Connor Johnson's had a hard time is really getting over on top of that curveball.
Yeah, the command with the breaking ball is not there through the first 2 innings so far, but his fastball's been good enough to overcome it up to this point.
1-1's outside and takes the count 2-1.
When his stuff is completely on, that curveball is also finding a way to hit the strike zone, and he's really tough to hit.
2-1's fastball inside at 86, and that'll take the count to 2-2.
Yeah, he's been able to spot that fastball though really anywhere he wants it, and that's why he's been able to overcome that. There's a good look at him, just pumps 86 on the outer third.
2-2's on the way, and he runs it right past him to retire the side here in the bottom of the second inning. So for Jonesboro, no runs, no hits, no errors. We head to the top of the third inning. Van Buren on top 1-0, and you're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
This month in Passport on the PBS video app, your on-demand library for the best of PBS.
Born a slave in Jamaica, taken from my mama. This be my story.
I hate the myth of Hemingway. The man is much more interesting than the myth.
There is no alternative to soul.
That on national TV was revolutionary.
These and other shows are available with Passport on the PBS video app. Download it today.
My name is Al Lopez, Papa Rap in the house. I live in Northwest Arkansas via Puerto Rico. Been here since 1994. desde 94. And really, Arkansas PBS is the one that has taught me about this great community that we have here. Wonderful, beautiful, so much programming, tanta programación for children, for grown-ups, porque es el canal de Arkansas. This is a real Arkansas channel.
Back here in Benton for the 5A title game, and our student athlete of the game for this 5A title game is Will Ross from Lakeside High School. Plays left field as a senior with a 4.2 GPA. Future plans are to attend Ouachita Baptist University and major in biology, something Bobby never even thought about doing.
I had biology class once in college. I don't know if I went, though.
Here's the 1-0 pitch that is outside, misses as Easton Reichert is at the plate.
I have a piece of paper, so
yeah, I've got the paper.
I must have won a few times.
1-0 pitch is a fastball at 90 miles an hour on the outside corner to take the count at 1-1. Biology was not my forte.
Nope.
There was a science building on the campus of the University of Central Arkansas that I did not frequent very often. As the fastball goes outside and takes the count to 2-1.
I went there when I was told to, and that's about it.
2 balls, 1 strike. As it goes outside to take the count to 3-1.
Good patience here from Reichert. The last inning we saw a lot of early swings from the Van Buren offense, so maybe try to push that pitch count up again from Heineman. Now he's sitting at 31.
3-1's on the way. And it's going to be a ball low and outside, and that'll send Easton Reichert to first base.
First free pass issued by either squad so far today. And now Kai Henry, stud on the football field as a sophomore receiver for the Pointers. Don't have to tell any Jonesboro fans who were at that football game about it. He torched Jonesboro in that first round of the 6A state playoffs.
So Kai Henry, the 9-hole hitter for Van Buren, works from the right side with a runner on. Josh Heineman puts the pitch out, thought about a bunt, pulls it back, and it's going to be low and outside for ball 1.
Nice job by Reichert, though, to get back quickly as he scampered off first base a little too far. And Red Hossman able to throw behind the runner in a close play at there at first.
Reichert is at first. Pickoff move goes back to first base. One ball, no strikes. As Kai Henry is at the plate. Here's the pitch, shows bunt again, but pulls it back, and it's a strike either way. Fastball at 90 miles an hour.
Really, as a hitter, you've got nothing you can do with that. That's just 90 on the black. You don't know whether it's going to be a strike or not, so you pull it back, and you still lose the advantage of having a few strikes to work with trying to get a bunt down.
And now we'll have time at the plate as Connor Johnson is being bothered by Easton Reichert at first base.
Yeah, Heineman couldn't make up his mind whether he's going to go to the plate, have it pick at first. And Kai Henry smartly just steps out of the box and make the Jonesboro pitcher think about it a little more.
1 ball, 1 strike. Heineman with the pitch. Here's the bunt down the first base side. Runner will advance, flip to first, and it'll be the first out, but that'll send Reichert to second base.
Nice job there by Henry to get the bunt down. Gets the sacrifice. Moves the runner into scoring position as Van Buren flips the lineup over for the first time here today.
So we head back to the top of the lineup as Hayden Roark is up. He struck out looking back in the first inning. One out here in the top of the third inning.
Jonesboro defensively plays pretty much straight up. The third baseman Rhodes, even with the bag. At least so far, they're not buying into the analytics of the shift.
And swung on out to the gap. That's going to score a run, or attempt to score a run, as rounding third is Wagner. He'll touch home, and it's 2-0. An RBI single by Hayden Roark, and Van Buren is out to a 2-0 lead.
A nice job there by Roark, and Reichert able to scurry around from second. Not a strong throw out from the outfield as Barre was moving to his left and had to try to plant and throw back in, and not enough on that cutoff throw to get in. And Van Buren's got a 2-0 lead.
And now Sammy Seeger is going to be at the plate. He flied out to center field back in the first inning, and now we'll have a mound visit.
It's a great job of small ball coming to fruition there for Van Buren. You get on base with a walk, you bunt him over, and then you get a little bleeder into the outfield of a single that gets it home. And Van Buren's got a 2-0 lead in a meeting of the minds on the mound for the Hurricane.
One out here in the top of the third. 2-0's our score. Van Buren on top of Jonesboro. So it was a quick meeting, and now they will await Sammy Seeger.
Well, being in the championship game, nothing new for Jonesboro. This is trip number 5 all this decade, 2005, 13, 16, 17, and now this year. Got a couple titles to their credit, but the Pointers made the title game just once back in 2010. They're looking for their first championship.
So runner at first base as Seeger eyes in from the right-handed batter's box. Looks like Jonesboro's got somebody warming up in the bullpen.
See the left hand there of Roark. Baseball's gone to the oven mitt variety of, so you don't jam your fingers when you slide back into the bag.
You know, we didn't have the oven mitt whenever I was playing.
No. Also didn't have turf when you were playing either.
Good point.
You know, diving back into first is completely different because you're normally diving forward and not back, and so the oven mitt does you no good when you dive back into first base. I digress.
Here's the pitch, swung on and missed.
Guess you can't really wear 2 oven mitts.
You could. So no balls, 1 strike.
Kane and Sandy in the house. Getting the Van Buren crowd into it. And Sammy Seeger going to step out. This is student section getting a little rowdy.
So no balls, 1 strike. Runner at first base. Here's the pitch, swung on out to left field. It's a base hit. And now they've got 2 runners on with only 1 out here in the top of the 3rd inning.
Van Buren offense starting to see it well. Back-to-back singles, both to left field. And now the middle of the lineup coming up. The catcher, Tanner Callahan. Chance to do some damage with a runner in scoring position.
So 1 out here in the top of the 3rd inning. Runners at first and second. As at the plate is Tanner Callahan. Looked at throwing down a bunt and backed out of the way, and that takes the count to 1-0.
Hahnemann's really got to settle in, limit the damage here. Give his team a chance to get back in the dugout and do some damage with the bats. You can see his pace has really slowed down. It's become a lot more deliberate on the mound. The pitch count's now at 40 as we're at the top of the 3rd, and just 1 out.
1-0's the count. Here's the pitch, and it'll be a fastball low. Takes the count to 2-0.
Yeah, the battery for Jonesboro didn't like that call. Doesn't take a genius to figure out 2-0 is a much different count as far as a pitcher than it would be if it was 1-1. So now he's got to try to attack the zone here and Tanner Callahan could be sitting dead red on a fastball.
Here's the 2-0 pitch, swung on right at the first baseman. He'll step on the bag, a double play. That's how you get out of an inning.
Smokes off the bat there for Callahan. He was waiting fastball, and he turned on it, but just a little unlucky as we see the replay. Just a rocket right at the first baseman. Jake Henry Williams snags the liner, steps on first. Easy double play, 3 unassisted, and Jonesboro gets out of the jam.
That's going to do it for the top of the third. 2-0. Van Buren on top of Jonesboro, and you're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball Championships in Arkansas PBS Sports.
Sports is so important to this state and the fabric of the state, and I appreciate Arkansas PBS doing all the state title games, and that makes it available for not just the fans in Central Arkansas, South Arkansas, but fans around the entire state. I can only think of the kids in small towns, and this is the biggest moment maybe in their sports careers, and they have that keepsake of having that game on TV to have with them the rest of their lives.
Thanks, George. Appreciate it. At Big Red Stores, we're always proud to sponsor, support, and partner up with many events and activities throughout the community. Among them, high school championships throughout the state of Arkansas. At Big Red Stores, our team members are always ready to assist you to make your visit with us a pleasant one. And at Big Red Stores, we recognize that none of our support or ability to serve the community is possible without you. That's why at Big Red Stores, you're always the MVP of the Big Red team. Big Red Stores, now more convenient than ever.
Well, we head to the bottom of the third inning as it's 2-0. Van Buren on top of Jonesboro, and Jonesboro's at the plate with their 8-9 one-hitters in Brennan Payne, Will Buren, and Dawson Wagner will lead things off here for Jonesboro in the top of the third inning. RJ Hawk with Bobby Swafford, and got a little overcast day here in Benton, but hopefully that rain that they're talking about for this evening kind of slowly move its way out of here.
Yeah, we were able to get the first softball game in of the day. Congratulations to Tuckerman. They took home the 2A state championship with a walk-off winner.
How about that?
RBI single, bottom of the seventh. They beat Mansfield 4-3. We got the 5A softball game coming up next. Dorian Kraft and Sidney Parr have all the softball action for us. It's about, 30 yards behind us?
Yeah, I tell you, Dorian and Sidney got a great game there, the first game of the tournament so far. And actually, there's a walkway between press boxes. That's how close it is. So here's the first pitch by Connor Johnson. It's a fastball that comes in at 83 miles an hour. On the outside corner, goes 0-1.
Bit of a longer break there of a half inning for Johnson. I was going to ask if there's going to be any rust there, but clearly not as he pumps one across, and that one just barely missed.
Brennan Payne on the year, batting .365 with 20 RBI. One's on the way as it's outside, and that'll take the count to 2-1.
Johnson still hasn't thrown one yet this inning, but still hasn't got command of that breaking ball yet, so he's relying heavily on the fastball.
2-1, swung on. It was a little high heat. Takes the count to 2-2.
Climb the ladder, and Payne not able to catch up with it up around his neck.
Trying to get the first out here in the bottom of the third, and he does.
There's that breaking ball we were waiting on, RJ. Would have been that one in. Caught probably more of the plate than he would like. But seeing one go across and getting that strikeout going to be huge for the confidence of Connor Johnson, who's got 3 Ks.
Now the 9-hole hitter, Will Buren, comes to the plate, batting .355 with 19 RBI. First pitch, swung on and fouled back.
The 9-hole hitter for Jonesboro. We'll see the top of the order, Dawson Wagner, coming up next, the only Hurricane batter with a hit so far.
Here's the 0-1 fastball. Misses high, takes the count to 1-1. The road to the championship game for Jonesboro, they started with Texarkana and won that game 13-2, and then Greene County Tech was their next victim and won 13-3 as that pitch misses inside to take the count to 2-1.
So they can put up some numbers.
Here's the 2-1 pitch, swung on, popped up back behind the press box, and that takes the count to 2-2. Two balls, two strikes. As it misses outside to make the count full at 3-2.
You can win the full Ken Burns Landmark Series baseball DVD set by signing up to receive our newsletter. Just go to myarpbs.org/signup.
Here's the 3-2. Fastball inside corner, struck him out. There's 2 outs now here in the bottom of the third.
Johnson's got 4 strikeouts down, kind of like we saw earlier in the game. Barre wasn't expecting a fastball in the inner portion, and he saw that one go right past him, and the umpire started his chainsaw for the easy strikeout.
So 2 outs here in the bottom of the third as Van Buren's on top 2-0, and that takes us back to the top of the lineup with Dawson Wagner. Wagner got the only base hit so far for Jonesboro as he works from that left-handed batter's box. Curveball misses high and takes the count to 1-0.
Stop now, but that may be the sun peeking out.
1-0, swung on out to second base. Right there is the second baseman to get the third out, and that's going to do it for the top of the third, or the bottom of the third inning. 2-0's our score. Van Buren on top of the 5A title game, and you're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Baseball, the most watched series in PBS history, is coming home.
There he goes.
See how baseball became our national pastime and why this Ken Burns series remains an American classic.
Sign up for our newsletter to be entered to win the entire Ken Burns baseball series on DVD.
The Cherokee Nation, our people, our culture, our history, our future. To learn more, go to visitcherokeenation.com and say hello to the Cherokee Nation.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Let me take you for a ride on the baseline.
And we're back here in Benton as Van Buren's on top 2-0. So far, Van Buren's held Jonesboro just to 1 hit. And that came in the bottom of the first inning.
Jonesboro making a change on the mound as Van Buren was starting to tee off on Heineman, the starting pitcher. Really, not going to say got lucky, great defensive alignment, but able to step there, got a line out to end the last inning. Runners on first and second with just 1 out, and now they're going to the bullpen.
And that's Brennan Payne, who was playing in right field. They brought him to the mound, and so Payne will be up for Jonesboro.
Payne actually leads Jonesboro in innings pitched this year with 46. 7-1 record on the season.
Here's his first pitch that misses outside, and it takes the count to 1-0.
Had a season high 10 starts as well. Gave up 17 earned runs, 50 hits.
Second pitch is swung on. Chopper to third, throw across for the first out. And that is the first out here in the top of the fourth inning.
ERA of 2.55 for Payne, 57 strikeouts, 18 walks. It was really pitcher 1A and 1B for Jonesboro. They went with Heineman to start, and now go to Payne here in the fourth.
So Heineman moves over to first base from pitching, and then you've got Jake Henry Williams who goes to right field. As the first pitch is up high and inside, takes the count to 1-0. Eli Gilreath at the plate for Van Buren. 1-0's high, takes the count to 2-0.
The velocity not quite as strong from Payne as it is from Heineman. That one at 83. But obviously the stuff is good. 7 victories on the season.
2 balls, no strikes. 2-0 the swung on and fouled back. And takes the count to 2-1.
You're starting to see the swings starting to heat up off of Heineman. I think that's a really smart move by Coach Mark Dobson in Jonesboro. Go ahead and make the switch before things escalate even further.
Here's the 2-1, swung on, right back at Payne, and he's able to snag it and throw it over to first. That's an impressive snag by Brennan Payne for 2 outs now here in the 4th inning.
We've talked about the differences in playing on this turf, and that was a big hop here. It's going to be a great angle at it, able to quickly rebound from his delivery, get off the ground, make the snag, and easy throw to first.
So now Presley Nichols comes to the plate. He flied out to right field back in the 2nd inning. First pitch is fastball outside. And one thing about all these pitchers, they've worked fairly quickly through this one. Here's the 1-0. Fastball catches that inside corner of the plate. Evens the count at 1-1.
Nice job to come back on the inside. That's the one thing that we've really seen change through the years at high school baseball. Pitchers aren't afraid to come inside anymore. They're going to pound it in, and that one on the inside half as well, and get the fly ball to left.
And Buren goes back, makes a circus catch, and that's going to do it for the top of the 4th inning. So 1-2-3 for Brennan Payne here in the top of the 4th inning. Jonesboro's up next as they trail 2-0, and you're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Hi, I'm Logan Duval.
And I'm Lauren McCullough, and we are pleased to represent Arkansas PBS as the host of these first installments of the new segment series, Good Roots.
Good Roots will explore the culture and innovation of small towns across the state of Arkansas. Tune in for Arkansas Week or find us online.
You know, I think sports are really big to a lot of people, and because it's an important part of our fabric in our community. And the one good thing about what I've seen is it's high quality production. You know, you think of the small communities all over Arkansas, it's a big deal that they can turn on the TV or DVR or whatever and know they're going to get a quality product. And so I think it just expands the focus of what PBS is doing. You know, Arkansas PBS is doing a great job, and I think it's part of education.
We never gonna stop.
Experience the action over and over and over again next week as you can watch all of the championships, baseball and softball. All you have to do is go to youtube.com/ArkansasPBS. Catch the games for football season, basketball season on there as well.
I actually did that the other day. I couldn't remember who won a game, so I just went on the YouTube channel and watched it. Here's the first pitch, swung on right out to third. Nice grab that time for the Pointers, Eli Gilreath. He was able to make a nice snag and get the first out here in the 4th inning.
Cross jumper to Rob there, liner down the line, but a great defensive play at the hot corner for the Pointers. Eli Gilreath hit a solo homer earlier, does so with his glove as well.
So up next is Ty Rhodes as pitch misses low, ball 1. One 0 swung on and fouled back. Takes the count to 1-1.
Just one hit up to this point for Jonesboro. You ran off the numbers of what they've done in the state tournament. They can score runs, and they come in bunches.
1-1 pitch missed inside to take the count to 2-1.
You know, Van Buren really felt like they took a big step in the semifinals. They took down a rival, Greenwood, had to go a long way to play their rival from the eastern part of the state, western part of the state. Geography's hard, but
here's the 1-1 that misses in, or makes it inside 2-2.
You know, those two teams played twice in the regular season split.
Swung on out to short, nice catch right at the ankle tops. And so there's 2 outs now here in the 4th.
We've established that I didn't do biology and I didn't do geography. What did I do in school?
You played football.
Did.
That's, I mean.
Not at a high level, but I played.
So that brings to the plate now Rhett Hossman. First pitch to him, swung on and found out a play. Hossman back in the first inning, struck out looking. And you know, one thing that Van Buren's done so far through this entire season, they lost Luke Hughes to a UCL injury back in March. That's an elbow injury, and he's their number 2 pitcher. As second pitch is fouled back, takes the count to 0-2.
He's had to undergo Tommy John. He's going to play his college ball at Carl Albert, junior college in Poto, just across the border into Oklahoma.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball misses outside, and Connor Johnson thought he got it as he was walking off the mound.
About 2/3 the Pointer defense was walking behind him. Does not get the benefit of the call there on the outside corner.
1-2's on the way. Fastball swung on and missed. And they go 1-2-3, that being Jonesboro, and we head now to the top of the 5th inning with Van Buren on top 2-0, and you're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
This past year has felt like a marathon in many ways, with each of us working to reach the finish line. We are happy we can make this journey together. Arkansas PBS is over halfway to our goal of adding 3,000 members by June 30th. If we succeed, we receive $21,000 from our Ambassador Circle. If you're not yet a member, you can help us reach the finish line. Call or go online today.
Arkansas has good people, good stories, and now good roots. Join us as we explore rural communities and agriculture in Good Roots, the second Friday of each month during Arkansas Week at 7:30 p.m.
So we head to the top of the 5th inning, as back on the mound is Brennan Payne, who came in last inning for Josh Heineman. And you had the official numbers for Heineman for what he did through, 3 innings of work?
Yep, 3 innings, 1 strikeout, 1 walk, gave up 3 hits, gave up 2 runs, but then Payne came in a clean slate of a 4th inning. See if he can do the same thing here in the 5th against this Van Buren offense. I was kind of looking at that opening shot we had in the Van Buren student section. A really good turnout of green, but also a really good turnout of black and gold.
Yeah.
You know, Jonesboro to Benton's not an easy drive. Van Buren to Benton, not an easy drive either, but kudos to both of these squads and their fan bases for making the big long trip. The Van Buren boys soccer team also in the state championship down here at Benton coming up this weekend. Pointer's hoping to take home a couple trophies and not the silver ones.
So up first for Van Buren is going to be Brecken Waters. And Waters will work from that right-handed batter's box. Back in the 2nd inning, he flied out to right field as the first pitch misses low, and that'll take the count to 1-0. One ball, no strikes. As a changeup is able to catch the outside corner to take it to 1-1.
That's a pitch you'll take all day if you're Waters. You're ahead in the count, make him throw a strike, especially if he's willing to go off speed.
1 ball, 1 strike as a curveball is checked down the left field side to take it to 1-2.
That was a really good pitch. You know, breaking ball about 10 miles slower than his fastball. That one came in at 73. Really got Waters way out in front and tried to stop his swing but couldn't. And now he's ahead in the count.
Here's the 1-2 curveball. Slow roller out to short. And he hits it off his leg for the first error of the ball game.
Yeah, we'll have to see what they call this one. You know, if I was the score, you can't assume he throws him out. Momentum's carrying him to his right, and
that is an error all day long, Bobby.
Well, you know, we'll see. We're going to rely on our man Walter Woody. He's the official scorer for the state baseball finals. They put 6 errors up on the board there. That is not correct.
That is not correct. Yeah, that is an error all day, every day.
There it is. RJ's right, and we hate that.
Yeah. Easton Reichert is at the plate. He walked back in the 3rd inning.
Congratulations, though.
Thank you.
You're 1 for 1 this week.
Yes. Here's the pitch as he tried to lay down a bunt and never got it pulled back in time, so that takes the count to 0-1.
Reichert drew a walk his first time up. Really started what looked like it was going to be a big inning in the 3rd, but the double play got Jonesboro out of it.
0-1's the count with Waters at first base, and here's a throw back over to first. So far in the game, Van Buren 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. Jonesboro no runs, 1 hit with an error. As a curveball misses outside to take the count to 1-1.
Shows bunt on the first pitch of the at-bat, but none there for Reichert. So we'll see what Van Buren and their coach want to do, Coach Weatherford.
1-1's on the way, swung on and missed. It was outside and takes the count to 1-2.
We haven't had a chance to talk about what Luke Weatherford's done for this Pointer Ball Club. His first year as a head coach. Granted, he's the assistant for Coach Lloyd there for a long time. Again, they mentioned they made the state finals in 2010 with a couple names a lot of fans in this state will remember, a.k.a. Tyler Spoon, Brandon Moore.
And nasty curveball that time by Payne, and strikes out Easton Reichert for the first out here in the 5th. So now Kai Henry comes up, and he had a sack bunt over in the 3rd inning earlier. He'll work from the right side with a runner at first base. Here's the pitch by Brennan. Nice changeup in there, called 0-1.
Henry's got good speed. I wouldn't call it great speed just yet. But once he gets full go, he's tough to catch, at least on a football field. Almost able to beat out that sack bunt earlier.
Yeah.
That's where I was getting with that.
0-1's the count. Got 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Swung on and fly to right field. Going over is Jake Henry Williams to make the catch and record the 2nd out.
Nice job by Payne to come back after the error that started this inning. Gets a strikeout and kind of a lazy fly ball to right there is now Roark comes back to the top of the lineup for the Pointers with 2 outs.
Roark so far in the day, he struck out back in the 1st and got a line drive base hit back in the 3rd. An RBI base hit. So he steps up with 2 outs and a runner at first base. Fastball hits the inside corner.
Like the way that Payne's attacking the strike zone. We mentioned how the velocity is a little different than Heineman, who started the game on the mound for Jonesboro, but doesn't mean he's afraid to attack the plate.
Curveball misses inside. Take the count at 1-1. By the way, just got a text that UCA baseball broadcaster Steve Owens is watching the game today. So as the Bears get ready to take on McNeese State, as the 1-1 is a fastball that caught the outside corner to go to 1-2.
Big series happening in Fayetteville this week.
Yeah.
Top 10 team Florida in to face Arkansas.
1-2 curveball fouled back.
I don't know if you've heard, but I'm told that Arkansas baseball is good.
Yeah, Florida is as well.
Sources tell me.
Yeah, they're both good. It's going to be that'll be a fun series. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Came with some high heat that time, and that's going to retire the side here in the top of the 5th inning. So for Jonesboro, no runs, no hits, 1 error in the field, and when we come back, Jonesboro will have the plate. In the bottom of the 5th inning, you're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
I think it's important for Arkansas PBS to have sports because it provides sports on a greater platform to the entire community. And it also gives people in various other communities an opportunity to see other schools and other athletes and to have a greater appreciation for not just their own community, but the sports that are available across the state of Arkansas. There are so many lessons that sports provides, and it's one of the reasons why it's so important to the next generation of athletes coming up.
Riggs Rents, Arkansas's rental equipment provider, from aerial lifts to dirt moving machines and everything in between. Our family owned and operated business takes pride in serving our employees and customers. Riggs Rents, a proud supporter of Arkansas PBS Sports. John's Honda, your hometown dealer for sales and service of Honda motorcycles, ATVs, Honda generators, and Honda lawnmowers. Family owned and operated since 1967, John's Honda offers factory certified technicians and experienced sales staff.
Welcome back to Benton as Van Buren is on top 2-0. R.J. Hawk along with Bobby Swafford for this 5A baseball state title game. And boy, Bobby, we're going to have a lot of action, good action here in Benton. How about these facilities here at Everett Field?
Yeah, it's nice. We're talking baseball, softball. We're going to see soccer coming up this weekend. You can see why the athletic programs here in Benton are pretty good. And we're seeing a pretty good pitching matchup here today in Connor Johnson for Van Buren. 5 strikeouts to the first 4 innings and already quickly back to work here in the 5th.
Jake Henry Williams up for Jonesboro as he fouls the first one off. Williams flied to right field back in the 2nd inning. Connor Johnson still on the mound as he has a breaking ball now looped into right center field. Rounding second's going to be Williams. He's going to try to leg out a double, and he does.
Nice piece of hitting there. Go inside out, get it to the opposite field gap, and just kept going enough to get him into second base for a double.
Well, you know, Williams he's the speedster on the team. He's got a triple for this baseball team that he got back earlier in the year. And he was able to get a slide-in double right there, and that'll bring to the plate Sawyer Bentley.
First hit of the game since the leadoff batter for Jonesboro.
So Bentley comes up after grounding out to shortstop back in the 2nd inning.
Ends a streak of 12 consecutive retired batters for Connor Johnson and this Van Buren squad.
Tanner Callahan comes out to set up the defense for Van Buren. Johnson eyes second base as they try to keep Williams close to the bag. Williams is a speedster, as we talked about, and you know, if there was any scouting report by Johnson, he knows the type of speed that sits at second base.
Got plenty to worry about at the plate, too, though, with Bentley. He's got 44 RBIs this season, but a backdoor breaking ball there for Johnson gets him ahead in the count.
As we talked about, Connor Johnson headed to UCA to pitch for the Bears. A lot of folks in the state have talked about all the stuff, the bag of tools that Johnson brings to the table. One's the count. Here's the fastball. Brought it inside. Blew it past him. It's 0-2.
He's up to about 60 pitches in this contest, but the velocity hasn't come down any that time. 85 on the hands, and he's sat right there in the mid-80s. He's touched 86 a few times here against Jonesboro.
0-2's the count. Here's the pitch. And he comes high and inside and is able to strike out Sawyer Bentley for the first out.
Big strikeout there. He goes up and out of his zone and gets Bentley to chase for his 6th strikeout of the game on the mound. It's a big first out with the runner on second base.
So that brings up Josh Heineman, who struck out back in the 2nd inning. Johnson's pitch, fastball, swung on, popped up. On the right side, coming in to make the catch is Connor Johnson.
Nice job by Johnson. He saw that his catcher didn't have a side of where that baseball was, didn't hear from his first baseman. A lot of times you'll hear a shortstop come in and call that one off, but as that one was almost in foul territory on the first base line, Johnson says, hey, I'll just do it myself, and one pitch out. Certainly going to help that pitch count to help him get deeper into this contest.
So that brings up Brennan Payne, the 8-hole hitter, who struck out back in the third inning.
Pinch runner, it looks like. Zach Day coming in to take over at second base. If you want a copy of any of the state championship games, all you have to do is go to mmproductions.net to place your order. That's mmproductions.net. Listen to RJ's sweet melodic tones over and over again.
So there's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning with a runner at second base, and Brennan Payne is at the plate. First pitch to him, swung on and fouled off.
Shows how important that run is out at second base for Jonesboro. They bring in a little more speed with Day. Trying to scratch that one across, though they've got 2 outs here in the 5th.
0-1's the count. Payne's got those gold shoes, those New Balance shoes, as the pitch is on the outside corner at 86 miles an hour, and it's 0-2.
You know, on TV, they look gold. And in person, they look like they just haven't been cleaned in a while. They're supposed to be white.
Well, you know, the Jonesboro Hurricane, they've got a little gold to their logo.
Yeah, they do. It's the advantage of TV making it look better.
Here's the 0-2. Swung on, fouled out of play.
Noticed that with a couple other batters earlier. I even think Heineman had him on the mound. I said, man, those shoes are dirty. And then I see him on the TV broadcast. I was like, oh, no, they're gold. Sorry. Sorry about that.
They're gold.
My mistake. Eyes are getting a little older. I'm not. But my eyes are.
0-2's the count. Runner at second. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled off down the right field side.
Really nice at bat here by Payne. Just making Johnson work for it. From Johnson here, maybe trust your catcher Callahan, maybe bounce one, see if he'll chase one out of the zone. I haven't seen a lot of pitches in the, I'm using the air quotes here, the dirt, the brown colored turf out there. I haven't seen a lot of pitches down there.
Here's the 0-2. Fastball that hits the turf. Nice scoop by the catcher, Tanner Callahan.
A lot of times you're so worried about that pass ball or a wild pitch and allowing runners to advance. You try to avoid the bottom third, if you will. I almost like to see it here.
1-2's the count with Jake Henry Williams at second base. You know, the one bad thing about the turf is, you know, moms back in the day took pride in taking out those dirt stains. You know, I know when I would come home, that was kind of a thing of beauty. It was a badge of honor whenever you got to take out the dirt stains out of the pants.
You know who I think loves this turf more than the Benton fans? Probably the Benton moms, because they don't have to wash the uniforms.
You're right.
Yeah, exactly right. Turf is taking out the old mud.
1-2's the count with 2 outs, as Connor Johnson's at the 66 pitch count mark. Here it is. Swung on and fouled up on the right field side. Got a little bit of room, and it's going to go foul. Out of play.
Again, Payne just making him work for it. He's fouling off pitch after pitch. But again, Johnson's not afraid of it. He's just pounding the strike zone, making Payne battle it off. Still 1-2 count, even though this has got to be pitch number 7 or 8 of the at-bat coming up.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Curveball swung on, looped to left field, and it's going to go foul.
That curveball hung up just a little bit, stayed in the strike zone too long. Payne out in front of it and pulls it foul, and we'll do it again.
You know, that left field side, nobody's really been able to get anything down that line. Everything's been pulled hard.
The wind has been pretty calm for most of the day. The flag out in right field is blowing right to left. Probably hard enough to affect the fly ball, not so much a liner like that one.
By the way, you asked, and that last pitch was pitch number 9 of this at bat.
Math is not one of my strong points.
We're really trying to figure out what you were good at in school.
Hey, I was good I was good in journalism. I was about to get
yes.
broadcasting. So math, biology, geography, got it. Not a strong suit.
Oh, that's funny.
By the time we get these 6 games in this weekend, we're going to find out that I'm not good at anything.
One ball, 2 strikes. There's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Pitch is on the way, swung on, popped up. Third base side. And in to make the catch is Gilreath. And the Pointers get out unharmed. Jonesboro got a runner to second base, but that's it. And we head to the top of the 6th inning where Van Buren leads 2-0. And you're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Baseball, the most watched series in PBS history, is coming home.
There he goes.
See how baseball became our national pastime and why this Ken Burns series remains an American classic.
Sign up for our newsletter to be entered to win the entire Ken Burns baseball series on DVD.
Let me take you for a ride on the baseline.
Let's go!
Crowd for Van Buren. Nice crowd like Bobby talked about, as their Pointers currently lead it 2-0 as we enter the top of the 6th inning. Back on the mound for Jonesboro is Brennan Payne, as the Pointers are at the plate now, and it's going to be Sammy Seeger who's going to lead things off here in the top of the 6th inning.
Seeger's got one of the 3 hits for the Pointers.
Swung on, popped up the left, and coming in is going to be Buren, and that's going to do it for the first out here in the top of the 6th.
Pitcher's best friend right there. First pitch swinging. Easy fly ball to left. Brings up Tanner Callahan, who absolutely smoked one his last time up, but got robbed, line into a double play. And the other day, that might have been a 2-run double down the line, but today he goes as L3U unassisted on the double play there.
Callahan 0 for 2 on the day. Grounded out to second, back in the first as he swings at the first pitch and fouls it off.
Van Buren's been aggressive for most of the day. First pitch swinging, not getting really too deep into counts. Payne's now in his 3rd inning of work, and pitch count just at 26. He's on top of the plate as well.
Here's the 0-1. Misses outside. Comes with a changeup at 77.
That is the one disadvantage to turf, at least for the batters who like to crowd the plate. Usually late in the game, that chalk starts to disappear.
Yeah.
It's been kicked around too many times.
1-1, chop foul.
That white turf is going nowhere.
Yeah, you're not messing that box up. I will say, though, that as a player, I mean, it was no fun after the game having to rake the field and everything like that. But once again, that was like a gateway into baseball. As here's a swing and driven out to center field, and it's over the head of Jumper, and rounding first is going to be Callahan. He'll stand up at second base with a double.
Nice job by Callahan. This goes to the opposite field gap. That one even bled a little back to center, right out of the reach of the Jonesboro center fielder. It's cross jumper, as you mentioned, can't make the play, and Callahan's got himself at second. And they're going to bring in the courtesy runner for the catcher.
Probably one of the deeper parts of this ballpark where he hit it. And so now with one out in the top of the sixth, that brings up Connor Johnson, who's 0 for 2 on the day.
They brought in real speed there at second base. That's Jaden Henry. A lot of people are going to recognize that name from the football season. He's signed to play at Arkansas Tech, I believe it is. If serves me correctly, receiver, double digits and touchdown catches. He can go.
So Johnson stands in there. Sees the first pitch missed low and away. I know I keep bringing up the weather in this one, but
well, if you look at the sky, you kind of have to.
Yeah, and earlier they said that around 4 o'clock we'd have 80% chance of rain. Here's a curveball that misses, or that is swung on and missed, and it's 1-1. I was looking that up to see if that had changed any, and sure enough, at 4 o'clock, it's now a 51% chance of rain.
Going down, I like our chances. 4 o'clock's also scheduled first pitch for the 5A softball championship.
Here's the 1-1. Curveball swung on out to third off his ankle. But coming up with it, though, is the shortstop, and he tagged him out. Nice play as it went off the ankle of Rhodes, went over to Acebo, and Acebo was able to flip it back over to Rhodes to tag him out.
So Jaden Henry is kind of stuck in no man's land. He stopped as the ground ball was in front of him, but after the ball went off the right leg of the third baseman Rhodes, he tried to risk it. And the umpire right there on the spot to make the call and said that Rhodes able to recoup and get the tag on him.
By the way, that wasn't an error.
No, it's fielder's choice.
Yeah, I'm talking about going off his ankle. That was where it deflected off his ankle to the shortstop. That's not an error.
Yeah, it probably would have been, but they got the fielder's choice, so it erases the error.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So you're half right. So you're right-ish.
I will say that was a shot at third base. So that brings up Eli Gilreath, who had the big home run in the second inning.
Got to give a lot of credit to those left side of the defense there. Acebo to be heads up, catch the ricochet, and toss it back to Rhodes to get the out.
Fastball missed outside. Start things off to Gilreath. Two outs here in the top of the sixth.
Gilreath put one into orbit.
Here's a pitch, back up the box. It's into center field for a base hit. Second hit of the inning. And now Presley Nichols will come to the plate.
Until Gilreath is locked in. He's scored up 2 today. He also don't have that sharp grounder up back to the pitcher. Might have been a base hit on somebody who wasn't a little more aware like Payne was.
So Presley Nichols is 0 for 2 on the day. He flied to right and flied to left. Curveball to him, misses low. To start off 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch, swung on and fouled off.
Well, this is a big spot for Van Buren. They want to tack on a couple more if you're new to high school baseball. They only play 7 innings. So we're here in the late moments. But if you're Jonesboro, you'd like to keep that deficit at just 2. So this spot really big for both Payne and Presley Nichols.
1 ball, 1 strike. Here's a pitch by Payne, and now it calls time.
Granted, really late. Of course, the Jonesboro crowd not going to like that.
By the way, state champion basketball coach Wes Swift for Jonesboro is in the crowd. Saw him walk up a little bit ago. Here's the 1-1. Curveball swung out to right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. They're going to send him home. We'll have a play at the plate. Up the line. Pointers score a run here in the top of the sixth.
Big job of timely hitting there by Presley Nichols. The run comes around to score, and Pointers get that all-important insurance run that pushes that lead to 3.
So it's an RBI single for Presley Nichols. As that'll move Gilreath to second base. Johnson scored. Now Brecken Waters comes to the plate.
Van Buren coaches have gotten together on the first base line and starting to discuss a few things. Blueberry's Clubhouse is back. You can catch up with Blueberry, Max, and their new friends at camp beginning in July. Let's see their complete schedule at myarpbs.org/schedule.
My kid likes Blueberry.
Yeah?
Yeah. I know Blueberry very well. I highly recommend. Just saying.
Mental note taken.
Yeah, there. Anybody with kids, check out Blueberry's Clubhouse. Okay. So now Jonesboro is going to have a pitchers meeting at the mound as head coach Mark Dobson makes his way out there. 3-0's our score as Van Buren's on top. And really, Bobby, if you see what they've done to Jonesboro so far, this powerful lineup that we've talked about, they've only held Jonesboro to just 2 hits in this one.
What they've done a great job of is keeping the leadoff hitter off base. The leadoff hitter of the entire game got on base for Jonesboro, but since then, Connor Johnson has just been pounding the strike zone, limiting the number of runners that get on base for Jonesboro, and it just kept pitching from ahead. Van Buren got that run in the second inning, the home run by Gilreath, and they've just been able to kind of take advantage of that advantage so far up to this point.
Well, now Brecken Waters is at the plate for Van Buren. So far in the day, he's 0 for 2. He flied to right back in the second inning, then got on because of an error from the shortstop in the 5th. He is the 7-hole hitter for the Pointers. Here's the pitch, swung on and fouled off.
You know, it's like this in most baseball games, but I think probably in this contest a little more. I don't know who's shagging fly balls, but they've got a busy job today. There have been a ton of pitches fought off at the plate.
I wonder if at the state championships, if you take it to the concession stand, you get a snow cone.
I think it only works in like 3rd grade rec league.
Okay. Just didn't know. Let me get Derek from the AAA on that.
There are not enough snow cones in Benton.
Here's the 0-1 as it swung, or it was outside, take the count 1-1.
Another big spot here. Van Buren's already been able to scratch across 1 here in this 6th inning. The more insurance, the better if you're wearing a Pointer shirt today.
Brennan Payne up to 39 pitches so far since he's come in. As he came in back in the 4th inning. We got 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. 3-0 Van Buren on top of Jonesboro. Here's the 1-1. Fastball up high. And that takes the count to 2-1.
Bullpens are kind of shaded from us. Can't really see if there's any action going on in the Jonesboro pen. We're behind the dugout from our vantage point.
Runners are at first and second for the Pointers. Here's the 2-1. Change up low at the knees. Called a strike, and it's 2-2.
Some confidence there. Throw an off-speed pitch for Jonesboro and Payne, and an advantageous count for the offense. We'll get that one across and even the count at 2s apiece.
The deuces are wild here in the top of the 6th. And it swung on and fouled off. Looks like there is action in that Jonesboro pen.
Number 10, Sawyer Bentley. 23, Drew Batson. Batson, the left-hander there you see on the left-hand side of your screen.
Here's the pitch to Waters. Curveball outside.
I like the idea. They do bounce one in the dirt. Had fouled off a few pitches already. Also a great stop by the catcher there for Jonesboro, Hossman.
If you look at the pitch counts, I mean, Connor Johnson's thrown 69 for Van Buren, and Payne came in the fourth. He's already thrown 43.
Yeah.
Here's the 3-2. Runners go. Swung on out to left field. That's a base hit. They're going to send the runner home. Here comes the throw at the plate. No, not in time. And the Pointers take a 4-0 lead.
Another timely hits, this time from Brecken Waters. And Van Buren has come up with the big swings when they need it the most. They got the advantage of the runners going on the pitch there. But the Pointers now have a 4-0 lead.
It's an RBI single for Brecken Waters. And now Easton Reichard's going to be at the plate.
3 straight singles.
And it looks like we're going to have a pitching change as Mark Dobson makes his way on the mound. We'll see who that new man is coming out of the pen, as it looks like Brennan Payne's day is done. We'll have the new pitcher coming up next as you're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
For information regarding COVID-19 vaccine clinic locations, call the Arkansas Department of Health Vaccine Clinic Call Center at 1-800-985-6030.
Now, more than ever, community is important. Local schools, businesses, and charities are in need of support. Each one of us can make a difference. When you volunteer, give, shop locally, or simply participate, you help support and grow your community. It makes us all stronger when we all are involved. I'm Susie Everett with Everett Buick GMC. We're proud to be a part of this wonderful community and want to encourage each of you to be involved in yours.
We never gonna stop.
So the new pitcher in for Jonesboro is Sawyer Bentley. And Bentley comes out as a new arm after 2 runs have been scored here in the top of the 6th inning, as the Pointers of Van Buren lead it 4-0.
It's always nice when you can go to the bullpen and have someone like Sawyer Bentley, a 1.86 ERA. Not a ton of innings, 19 strikeouts, just 7 walks for Bentley. 15 innings of work. He's appeared in 8 games this season. Does have a win, giving up 9 hits, 9 runs, but only 4 of those runs have been earned. That's how the ERA is below 2. We'll see if he can shut it down and limit the damage to just the 2 runs here in the 6th inning.
Well, there are 2 outs here in the 6th inning. So far, Van Buren scored 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, and 2 in the 6th. And at the plate, it's going to be Easton Reichard.
So Payne does leave after 2 2/3 innings, but he is responsible for the 2 runners on the base and giving up 2 runs.
So Reichard scored back in the 3rd inning after walking and then struck out in the 5th. Here's the first pitch by Bentley. That's going to be low. Reichard is the 8-hole hitter for this Van Buren Pointer team. One ball, no strikes. Pitch is on the way, swung on and missed.
Tried to go down and get that one. Probably chased one out of the zone, did Reichard. Threw a walk back in the 3rd. Struck out in the 5th.
1-1's the count. As walking out of the box is Reichard. Runners get their leads at 1st and 2nd. Here's the delivery by Bentley. Curveball inside, called a strike. It's 1-2.
Yeah, great pitch there from Bentley. Gets ahead in the count. Let's see if he can finish off Riker, get back in the dugout, and give his bats a chance to get back into this contest.
One-two pitches on the way. Fastball gets away from the catcher, and runners will advance. He just popped right off his glove. Takes the count to 2-2 as Nichols goes to third base and Waters goes to second.
Might have been some discussion if he was hit by that pitch, but Riker attempted to not even take first base. Didn't really act like he was hit by it at all. And if you want a free one, you got to try to sell it a little bit.
Here's the 2-2, swung on, looped into right field, and it's going to hit down, score 1 run. Here comes the next. Play at the plate, slid, safe.
Such huge clutch hitting for Van Buren in this contest, especially in this inning. That is 4 straight singles, all with 2 outs, all have scored runs. A really impressive job by Van Buren's offense, and they have blown this game open.
It's a 2 RBI single for Easton Riker. Now Kai Henry is at the plate. And Van Buren has blown this game wide open as it's 6-0.
4-run inning here, off 5 hits for Van Buren.
And here's the thing, Bobby. I mean, Jake Henry Williams in right field for Jonesboro, he let the ball fall in front of him. I think he thought that they might hold up because of how shallow it was. But with 2 outs like that, you know they're already running. You almost wonder you could make a slide or a dive for that play because he was close enough where he could have.
Yeah, and he might have been trying to time up the crow hop, if you will, so he can get as much behind it. It was a great throw, just a little late to beat the runner home Waters, and it's all of a sudden 6-0 as the Pointers have put up a 4 spot here in the 6th.
1-0 pitch is on the way, swung on. Looper into shallow right field, and Williams will come in to make the catch for the 3rd out. But not until Van Buren scores 4 runs off 5 base hits here in the top of the 6th inning. We head to the bottom of the 6th, where Van Buren, they're looking for a state title, and they lead at 6-0. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
You know, I think sports are really big to a lot of people, and because it's an important part of our fabric in our community. And the one good thing about what I've seen is it's high quality production. You know, you think of the small communities all over Arkansas, it's a big deal that they can turn on the TV or DVR or whatever and know they're going to get a quality product. And so I think it just expands the focus of what PBS is doing. You know, Arkansas PBS is doing a great job, and I think it's part of education.
You can experience the action all over again next week and watch the championship games on repeat. Just go to youtube.com/ArkansasPBS, and you can watch that 4-run 6th inning by Van Buren as they have pushed their lead to 6-0 on Jonesboro, as we are here at the 5A State Baseball Championship game in Benton. The story outside of that 4-run inning has been the man on the mound for Van Buren. Number 14, Connor Johnson, has filled up the strike zone. He's limited Jonesboro to just 2 hits in this contest. He's got 6 strikeouts, and he is 6 outs away from giving Van Buren their first ever baseball state championship. This is their 2nd appearance in the finals. Made it back in 2010. That man right there has been the MVP up to this point. He's going to play baseball at UCA, but can he finish it off? Because he's got a 6-run lead.
To to Will Buren.
Just 70 pitches so far for Johnson as well. So he's been methodical, hasn't really let anything get out of hand. That breaking ball bends in for another strike. Pace of play has been quick. There's really not anything you can say that Johnson hasn't done well, with the exception of that curveball in the first 2 innings.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And you know, really, when we talked to to Luke Weatherford, the head coach for Van Buren, for Van Buren,
he said he was kind of struggling with the decision to put Johnson out there because he was on short rest.
Seemed worked out okay.
Here's the 0-2, swung on, and it's a single right back up the box into center field, and Jonesboro's got a man on here in the bottom of the sixth inning.
If you really wanted to nitpick RJ and find, okay, what's he doing wrong, maybe he throws too many strikes, to be quite honest. Because, I mean, if you're ahead 0-2 right there, maybe you don't throw one anywhere near the strike zone, but instead he's working quick, he's pounding the zone. So, okay, you've got to beat me. You've got to get a base hit. Jonesboro's only gotten 2 of those up to that point, but Buren able to fight one back through the middle, gets the leadoff man here in the bottom of the sixth.
So now this brings up Dawson Wagner here in the top of the sixth inning, or excuse me, bottom of the sixth inning. Pitch is up high, 1-0. Ball, no strikes. We're in the bottom of the sixth. Don't forget, coming up at 4 o'clock, it's 5A softball. As the pitch up high takes the count to 2-0. The undefeated Benton Lady Panthers take on Greenwood in 5A softball action at 4 p.m. And you can see all that action right here on Arkansas PBS. 2-0 swung on and fouled out of play. Also later tonight at 7 p.m., it's the 6A baseball game between Springdale Harbor and Rogers.
2 schools from the northwest corner coming down here, playing for a title. They split their regular season meetings in conference play.
2-1, it's going to be hit. It's going to hit him.
You're always afraid of this as a coach. You know, you grind out as Connor Johnson, the first 5 innings, close ball game, and all of a sudden you get a big lead. And then you give Jonesboro a little life as they've got 2 runners on to start this. A single back up the middle, and all of a sudden Dawson Wagner has to wear one.
So now they've got runners at first and second. And cross jumper coming to the plate. Jumper's 0 for 2 on the day.
No mound visit, though. They've got plenty of confidence in Johnson to work out of his own jam. This is where that 6-run lead does come to play.
Here's a fly ball to left field. It's caught by Presley Nichols, and that's the first out here in the bottom of the sixth.
Really good contact there by Jumper. Just kind of robbed. He lined out to third back in the fourth, and a liner to left. Can't find a hole. Instead, it finds Presley Nichols' glove.
So Ty Rhodes comes up. Rhodes is 0 for 2 on the day. But once again, though, Van Buren is now seeing the meat of Jonesboro's lineup. This is the most lethal part.
This is where Jonesboro at least has to chip into that lead.
As that pitch gets away and runners advance to second and third.
We haven't seen really any issue for Van Buren up to this point, but this 6th inning hasn't been pretty for Johnson. A hit by pitch, that's his first wild pitch of the day. Now 2 runners in scoring position for Rhodes, who has 52 RBIs on the season. And that leads the Jonesboro squad. Chance to add to that, but more importantly, get his team back in this contest.
So it's 1-0 on the count. Curveball misses high. I think you're at the point in the game, though, that Johnson's pitched a heck of a game, but you better start getting some arms in the bullpen. Here's the 2-0. Fastball swung on, popped up left side. Running over is Gilreath. Gilreath runs out of real estate, ball goes out of play.
He might have helped that one just a touch. Get out of play.
Two balls, 1 strike. We've got 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning. Pitch on the way, swung on out to right field. It's going to get down. That'll score 2 runs for 1 run for Jonesboro as they were signaling Dawson Wagner home, and he held up halfway and came back.
Kind of that no man's land. The ball falls in front of Kai Henry. Quick throw back into the infield. Just hold him up at third.
So it's an RBI single for Ty Rhodes, and now Red Hossman, the 4-hole hitter, will come to the plate after striking out twice today.
Just don't want to run yourself out of the potential of a big inning, as Jonesboro is going to bring in a pinch runner there at first. Maddox Morrison. Van Buren faithful not a huge fan of the scoreboard here at the stadium being 6-2, but they'll get it fixed, I promise.
Yeah, that's really the least of any fan's problem.
But they like to complain about it. You ever been to a basketball game?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've been on the officiating side when...
The only job worse than an official in a basketball is the scorekeeper. The clock
You're
keeper.
exactly right. Yep.
Now you add a shot clock onto it. The fun really happens.
They got the scoreboard right, though. Here's the first pitch. Swung on out to short. Double play opportunity. Get it at second. Back to first. They get the double play.
Taylor made 6-4-3. Van Buren rolls it up, and that gets out of a huge potential of an inning for Jonesboro.
So they do score one run in the bottom of the 6th inning. We head to the 7th, where Van Buren leads it 6-1. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
The Arkansas Citizens Access Network gives you a front row seat to your state government. Live stream board and commission meetings, press conferences, legislative proceedings, and more. Events are also archived for 30 days. Receive updates right on your phone by texting ARCAN to 313131. Be informed and get involved at myarkansaspbs.org/ARCAN.
Blimey.
Quite something, isn't it?
Watch entire seasons of your favorite shows from Masterpiece.
Well, one thing is clear.
Time is not on our side. With Passport on the PBS video app. Binge your favorite and the latest shows from our huge collection of dramas.
I'm looking forward to all sorts of things.
Oh, how exciting.
Or catch up on episodes you've missed.
Go on then, what are you waiting for?
Downton is catching up with the times we live in.
These and other Masterpiece shows are available with Passport on the PBS video app. Download it today.
Learn more about the issues that impact our states with our long-running public affairs program, Arkansas Week. It's Fridays at 7:30 p.m. and Sundays at 10 a.m. right here on Arkansas PBS.
You know, as a high school sports fan in this state, I've seen a lot of facilities, been all over the state, but if you've not been down here to Benton to check out not only baseball and softball, but the football facility they've got over here with the 50-yard indoor and everything like that, place is nice.
Impressive. And I think that's the one thing really the last, we'll call it 15 years or so, that have changed in high school athletics in Arkansas and across the country are the facilities.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody seems to be getting a new arena. The financial number for artificial turf has come down significantly, and schools can afford to do it. It's almost a financial obligation to do it because it's cheaper than grass and the water and the fertilizer and all that.
Here's a first pitch swing single by Sawyer Rourke, and it's going to open things up here in the top of the 7th.
So you're starting to see this nicer facilities. I think you've got to go down to, I think there's maybe 1 or 2 5A schools left in Arkansas, a football field that is not turf. There's obviously a lot of 4A, 3A, and even some 2A schools have turf.
But, there for a while in the state, it was mainly Northwest Arkansas that had all the really nice facilities.
Mm-hmm.
And you're starting to see that the rest of the state kind of catch on with the facility upgrades.
Yeah, I mean, that's one way to look at it. And also, too, I mean, if you want to take that a step farther, and I don't have any facts to back this up, but with the facility upgrade in Central Arkansas, the state championship numbers have gone up, too.
Yeah.
Because you can work year-round.
Yeah,
so the indoor facilities obviously started in Northwest Arkansas, but everybody across the state's starting to catch up, as that one catches the inside corner. But they're starting to win state championships. And right now we're talking football, but big picture, I think you're exactly right. Once the facilities catch up, the talent seems to find you. You can win some games.
No balls, 1 strike as a changeup misses low. I said no balls. It's actually 2 balls, 1 strike. They had it wrong on the scoreboard. Move back over to first base and back safely. Jonesboro is the home team, so we will head to the bottom of the 7th inning after this. Here's the 2-1. Line to left field. Back-to-back base hits for Van Buren.
The last 2 innings, this Van Buren offense has really come swinging. Last 9 batters, they have 7 base hits. That'll get a job done.
Yeah. Yes, it will. As Sawyer Bentley is going to meet with his catcher, Rhett Rossman. And that'll bring to the plate Tanner Callahan. Callahan doubled back in the 6th inning. He really is what got that rally starting in the 6th. When he got the double, so far on the day, he's 1 for 3. And now it looks like we're going to have another pitching change for Jonesboro. Or at least they're going to have a conversation. As Mark Dobson's going to make his way out. And he's going to take the baseball away from Sawyer Bentley, and we'll find out who the next pitcher is coming up as Van Buren leads Jonesboro 6-1. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Sports is so important to this state and the fabric of the state, and I appreciate Arkansas PBS doing all the state title games, and that makes it available for not just the fans in Central Arkansas, South Arkansas, but fans around the entire state. I can only think of the kids in small towns, and this is the biggest moment maybe in their sports careers, and they have that keepsake of having that game on TV to have with them the rest of their lives.
Drew Batson is the new pitcher for Jonesboro as he comes into today's game with a 1.61 ERA, has 23 strikeouts on the season, and he is called in to try to slow down these bats for Van Buren.
It's been a reliable arm for Jonesboro. His 13th appearance, all in relief for the left-hander. Batson comes into a tough situation, 2 on, nobody out. 1.61 ERA, 23 strikeouts, just 11 walks. 4 earned runs this year, but the 2 runners on base do not belong to him. He's trying to help his team get to the bottom of the 7th, down just 5.
He is the 4th pitcher of the day for Jonesboro, and he'll face up against the 3-hole hitter in Tanner Callahan.
Have to wait to give the final line on Bentley, as he was lifted after giving up back-to-back singles here in the 7th inning. Now double digits as far as the hit total for the Pointers.
You know, Jonesboro's gone through 4 pitchers. Van Buren still has Connor Johnson on the mound. We'll see if he comes out in the 7th as they make a move back to second base.
I think it may take an act of Congress to get the ball out of his hands.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how much Coach Weatherford wants to let his workhorse finish the season or go to the bullpen to try to close it out.
Runners are at first and second with Callahan at the plate. Batson. And Callahan tried to bunt with no outs here in the top of the 7th inning. You know, oftentimes if the ball's above your neck, they say, don't try to bunt that thing, let it go. Callahan was at all costs going to try to get that one down.
That I might drop in.
Just saying.
Generally, if the ball's around your neck, you don't do anything.
Yeah.
You watch it go. But hey, I like the idea. Move the runners over into scoring position.
Runners are at first and second. And one thing that we've seen out of this Van Buren team, they're good at putting runners in motion and laying down that bunter, even trying to do a hit and go. 0-1's the count. Here's the pitch. Curve ball. Check swing. They say he did go, and it's going to take the count to 0-2.
Coach Weatherford didn't like that call. He's starting to take a few steps in from his third base box. Asking why you didn't appeal that one. Here's going to be a good look at it.
I don't know if he did.
You got the official in the, the umpire in the middle of the field. Could have appealed it, had a better look, but home plate umpire thought he went. That's what matters.
0-2's the count. Another curve ball. It's 1-2.
A lot of times, can't speak for every umpiring crew. You're not used to having a three-man crew.
And the rain's starting to come down here in Benton.
It's an hour earlier than you said, RJ.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's why they don't pay me to be a meteorologist. Here's the 1-2. And the ball is going to be down to even the count 2-2. Now you got to worry if you're the pitchers. You know, the ball getting a little wet. And it's a little bit more slick out there on the turf when that rain starts to fall. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sam Breeding, the home plate umpire, calls time and will reset things. Drew Batson, the pitcher. Runners go. Swung on. Ball's in the dirt. And runner will be safe at third base. So it was a hit and run situation. And I don't think Luke Weatherford was very happy because he thought he told both runners to run, and the only one that ran was Hayden Roark, and Seeger stayed at first base.
Now they got runners at the corners for their cleanup man, Connor Johnson. Got a chance to help his own cause. But the double play still in order. As you mentioned, RJ, Seeger didn't take off as part of a potential double steal.
Now Johnson at the plate with 1 out in the top of the 7th. Pitch gets away from the catcher. Here comes the runner. They're going to score another run here in the top of the 7th, and that time Seeger's going to second.
I hadn't seen a lot of wild pitches, but the last 2 half innings we've seen one, and that time it cost Jonesboro a run as the tally that Jonesboro got back in the bottom of the 6th quickly erased as Roark scores on the wild pitch. And that's why the stolen base of third was so big there, RJ.
Yeah. There's the 1-0 pitch, and that hits the dirt. Runner's going to head to third. And you got to think, Bobby, I mean, with the rain coming down now, how much effect is that putting on the baseball? Because we've seen now roughly two wild pitches.
Yeah, early on when it starts to rain, it becomes more mental, and we can kind of see a picture of it there as the rain's starting to fall here in Benton. But, you know, if it stays 5-10 minutes of rain, then it's really when it starts to affect the baseball.
2-0s on the way. Changeup up high. That takes the 3-0. See that camera shot right there. It's coming down pretty good.
Batson did request the new baseball there. This was a dry one from the pocket of the home plate umpire.
3-0's on the way. Swung on, popped up on the infield. Into foul territory, and Batson comes in. It pops out of his glove. He had an opportunity to allow for Rossman, his catcher, to make that play, and he called him off.
I hate to use the pun because it is raining, but, you know, kind of when it rains, it pours. And everything is kind of going against Jonesboro right now.
So that takes the count to 3-1.
It's raining pretty good. A lot of times on TV, it looks like it's pouring down rain, and it's really not, but it's definitely coming down right now.
It's coming down. 3-1's on the way, and it hits the dirt. That'll be a walk for Connor Johnson. So now you've got runners on the corners.
Still just 1 out now. Gilreath, who has hammered the baseball a few times. Solo home run back in the 2nd, being one of them. He scored 2 runs, driven in 1.
It's like Hunter Cox is going to come in and run at first base. So that puts Eli Gilreath at the plate. Gilreath has scored twice. He had the home run in the 2nd inning, had a single to center back in the 6th, and he rounded out to the pitcher back in the 4th. First pitch is a strike.
That is courtesy runner for the pitcher, so that doesn't guarantee that Johnson's day is done on the mound.
Yeah.
In high school baseball, you can have a courtesy runner for your pitcher and your catcher.
0-1, here's the pitch. Swung on, dribbler back past the mound, out to short. Picks it up, throws it across, and that's the 2nd out, but it does score a run.
A pair of RBIs now for Gilreath.
So that'll send Johnson to second. And there's 2 outs now as Presley Nichols comes up. Scores 8-1 in the top of the 7th.
Really coming down. And if this is where, if you're Jonesboro, you'd like a delay.
Oh, yeah.
Regroup the bats. And if you're Van Buren, you're going to try to do everything you can to try to finish this game without a stoppage.
You almost, and you would never tell your players this, but just get that one more out so that you can get off the field and you're now pitching.
Yep.
Here's the first pitch. It's up high. It's 1-0. And the thought is, because if you delay the game, you know, I mean, you're sitting here in the top of the 7th with 2 outs. You've got a 7-run lead. You just want this thing to get over with as fast as possible for Van Buren. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and missed. Curveball that hit that outside corner.
Nichols RBI single last time up. Got a chance to tack on another here.
1-1's on the way. Curveball in there on the inside part of the plate to make it 1-2.
Late break on that breaking ball. It's the benefit of the doubt. We'll see if Batson can get out of this inning.
1-2's on the way. Curveball, dribbler back towards the mound. Batson gonna take it over to first. He lost it. It fell out the back of his hand.
And he threw it away.
And as he tried to get the out back at third, and that'll score a run. And Nichols is going to go into second base. So you've got essentially 2 errors on the play, because Batson, there's a throwing error to first and then another throwing error back to third.
Yep. Pair of errors on Batson there, for allows the 3rd run of the inning to score. And another mound visit from Jonesboro.
As they get the new pitcher in the game, we will take a break and come back with that new pitcher here in the top of the 7th inning. Van Buren leads at 9-1. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Baseball, the most watched series in PBS history, is coming home.
There he goes.
See how baseball became our national pastime and why this Ken Burns series remains an American classic.
Sign up for our newsletter to be entered to win the entire Ken Burns baseball series on DVD.
Join us this summer for the 2nd season of Blueberries Clubhouse. We'll see a whole new crop of friends for the very best adventures in Arkansas.
Throughout the years of exploring Arkansas, we've taken you to quite a few awe-inspiring places, mainly as seen at ground level. But exploring all those natural wonders and iconic landmarks takes on a whole new exhilarating perspective from a bird's eye view. Welcome to Exploring Arkansas from Above. We'll showcase the natural state like never before. Join us for the high adventure in 2021.
And it is still coming down here in Benton. I think this may be the hardest it's come down in this ball game. And Bobby, normally in a situation you just postpone and let the rain pass and you move on. But because the amount of weather in the area, you postpone this thing. You may not get back on the field.
That's right, and they're pulling the teams off the field right there. Coach Mark Dobson from Jonesboro had a conversation with the home plate umpire, and now they're pulling the teams off of the field. So we are officially in a rain delay. And we were talking about the turf and the advantages of having a turf, and you don't have to worry about rainouts. But that means you can play longer as it's raining.
Yeah.
And so, probably a normal field with dirt and grass. This one's probably postponed 30 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago. But instead, they try to get it in. But now we're in a rain delay, and We'll have to defer to the weather experts.
Well,
air quotes.
And clearly that's not me, as we've already identified.
Yes.
But now let's remind folks that there's a difference between a rain delay and a lightning delay.
Correct.
Just because you pull everybody off the field with a rain delay, if it stops, you can come back out and play. If you've got a lightning delay, you've got to wait a minimum of 30 minutes to get back on the field.
From each lightning strike, and that's something we definitely don't want to get into right now. But officially a weather delay, then hopefully we can take a look at a radar and get this one going pretty quick. But it is, I'm going to say, pouring right now in Benton, America.
Well, I just pulled up the radar. Maybe we can get Mason back in the truck to get us a radar pulled up and we can look at it, because it looks like there's just a small cell that's running over the top of Benton right now, and we will talk about it more when we come back. But right now, in the top of the 7th inning, we only play 7 in high school baseball, the Pointers of Van Buren, they lead it 9-1 over Jonesboro, and you're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Take you for a ride on the baseline.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Cherokee Nation, our people, our culture, our history, our future. To learn more, go to visitcherokeenation.com and say hello to the Cherokee Nation.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
John's Honda, your hometown dealer for sales and service of Honda motorcycles, ATVs, Honda generators, and Honda lawnmowers. Family owned and operated since 1967, John's Honda offers factory-certified technicians and experienced sales staff.
Farmers and Merchants Bank and the Bank of Fayetteville share the mission of Arkansas PBS to enrich and empower all Arkansans. Community, dignity, respect. That's what Me Banking is all about. More at mebanking.com.
Riggs Rents, Arkansas's rental equipment provider, from aerial lifts to dirt moving machines and everything in between. Our family owned and operated business takes pride in serving our employees and customers. Riggs Rents, a proud supporter of Arkansas PBS Sports.
I think it's important for Arkansas PBS to have sports because it provides sports on a greater platform to the entire community. And it also gives people in various other communities an opportunity to see other schools and other athletes and to have a greater appreciation for not just their own community, but the sports that are available across the state of Arkansas. There are so many lessons that sports provides, and it's one of the reasons why it's so important to the next generation of athletes coming up.
Well, as we were going to break, the small cell that I had talked about that was sitting over top of Benton decided to move out and take all its precipitation with it. And so we're back to action as Cameron Clark is the new pitcher for Jonesboro, as Van Buren leads at 9-1.
Still raining a little bit. We can see the raindrops bouncing off the metal bleachers here, but significantly lighter than it was just a few minutes ago.
At the plate is Brecken Waters. His first pitch is a ball. Swung on and fouled back to even the count at 1-1. Cameron Clark in the ball game for Jonesboro. And he's got a 2.52 ERA in 12 appearances. This is his number 13. Here's the 1-1. That is a fastball that misses outside to take it 2-1.
Starting to come down a little harder again.
Yeah, that little cell came right back.
Hit retreat.
2 balls, 1 strike. Pitch on the way, swung on out to left field. They're going to wave the runner in, and then he'll hold up. So now you've got runners on the corners. But I tell you what, Luke Weatherford, the head coach for Van Buren, he was waving him home, and I think that Presley Nichols goes, yeah, I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah. Don't want to run into a third out at home, but if you're going to do it, I guess an 8-run lead's a chance too. Van Buren just continues to methodically pound it out these last 2 innings. 4 runs in the 6th, scored 3 runs already here in the 7th, and a chance to add to it.
So Easton Reichert at the plate on the day. He singled back in the 6th to right field, walked in the 3rd, and then struck out in the 5th. Works from the left side with runners on the corners. Runner goes to second. They're not even going to attempt it. And that will send Waters to second base.
It's one of those where they're trying to draw the throw down and try to steal a run. You take second base on defensive indifference. Write that down in your scorebook.
Here's the 1-0. Up high. Gets away from the catcher, but not far enough. And so that brings the count to 2-0.
Starting to see the little fog on the cameras out there. When it rains and it gets humid.
Yeah.
That's not fun for anybody involved, especially if you've got a camera in your hand. Been there too many times in life.
This game now has been on for 2 hours and 13 minutes.
Including a 45-second weather delay.
Yeah. 2 balls, no strikes. Runners at second and third. Here's the pitch. It's inside to take it to 3-0.
Reichert's already drawn 1 walk today. Showed a little patience at the bottom of the order.
Clark has a sign and delivers the 3-0, and it's low, and it's going to be another walk for Reichert. Now you've got bases loaded with your 9-hole hitter and Kai Henry at the plate, and on the day, he's 0 for 2 with a sack.
Sacrifice bunt back in the 3rd, but he's flown out to right a couple different times.
So 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning. And Buren's put up 3 runs here in the 7th. It's 9-1. Here's a pitch by Clark, up high.
I think he's having a hard time getting a hold of that baseball. There's a slight rain continues to fall. Again, it looks like it's pouring right there, but not raining quite that hard as it looks. But enough to probably affect the pitcher.
Bases loaded, 1-0's the count. Here's the pitch, it's up high again. 2-0. I mean, it's starting to come down again, Bobby, where not quite as hard as it was when we went to the rain delay, as that ball's up high to go to 3-0. But it's raining hard enough to where just the time that the ball's traveling back and forth between pitcher and catcher, it's getting moisture on it. Here's the 3-0. That's up high, and it's going to be a walked-in run.
Kai Henry gets credit with the RBI, one of the cheapest ones he'll ever have. And the sophomore has an RBI here in the state title game, and back-to-back 4-run innings. This was a 2-0 game when we started the top of the 6th.
And we've officially worked around the lineup here in the 7th as we head back to the top of the lineup to Hayden Roark. And it looks like we're gonna have another pitching change as Clark's day is done, and we'll get your picture right after the break as you're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Cherokee Nation, our people, our culture, our history, our future. To learn more, go to visitcherokeenation.com and say hello to the Cherokee Nation.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
John's Honda, your hometown dealer for sales and service of Honda motorcycles, ATVs, Honda generators, and Honda lawnmowers. Family owned and operated since 1967, John's Honda offers factory certified technicians and experienced sales staff.
Farmers and Merchants Bank and the Bank of Fayetteville share the mission of Arkansas PBS to enrich and empower all Arkansans. Community, dignity, respect. That's what Me Banking is all about. More at mebanking.com.
Riggs Rents, Arkansas's rental equipment provider, from aerial lifts to dirt moving machines and everything in between. Our family owned and operated business takes pride in serving our employees and customers. Riggs Rents, a proud supporter of Arkansas PBS Sports.
With 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning, Will Thayer will make his debut in the state championship game as Van Buren leads Jonesboro 10-1. As the first pitch is a called strike on the inside corner to Hayden Roark. Roark this inning had a single to start things off. He later came around to score. And this one swung on back to left field. He'll score 1. And after an error in left field, it's going to score 2 runs.
Yeah, they initially threw the brakes up on Easton Reichert there at third, but a bobbled ball out in left field allows him to score. Allows also a runner to advance to third, and 2 singles in this inning, as you mentioned, for Roark.
Yeah, so Reichert and Waters score. That sends Henry to third. And you've got Roark at first, and now Sammy Seeger at the plate. Seeger this inning got a base hit to left field. And he's going to deliver one to left again, and this will be the 3rd out of the inning. But not until Van Buren scores 6 runs here in the 7th inning. They lead the state title game 12-1. They're 3 outs away from a state title. And you're watching it right here on Arkansas PBS Sports.
This past year has felt like a marathon in many ways, with each of us working to reach the finish line. We are happy we can make this journey together. Arkansas PBS is over halfway to our goal of adding 3,000 members by June 30th. If we succeed, we receive $21,000 from our Ambassador Circle. If you're not yet a member, you can help us reach the finish line. Call or go online today.
My name is Al Lopez, Papa Rap in the house. I live in Northwest Arkansas via Puerto Rico. Been here since 1994, desde 94. And really, Arkansas PBS is the one that has taught me about this great community that we have here. Wonderful, beautiful, so much programming, tanta programación for children, for grown-ups, porque es el canal de Arkansas. This is a real Arkansas channel.
Throughout the years of exploring Arkansas, we've taken you to quite a few awe-inspiring places, mainly as seen at ground level. But exploring all those natural wonders and iconic landmarks takes on a whole new exhilarating perspective from a bird's eye view. Welcome to Exploring Arkansas from Above. We'll showcase the natural state like never before. Join us for the high adventure in 2021.
We go to the bottom of the 7th inning where Van Buren is looking for their first ever state championship, and they lead it 12-1. And Connor Johnson back on the mound as he starts the inning. His first pitch is a ball as he is pitching to Jake Henry Williams. Here's the 1-0 popped up. It's out to left. Buren tracks it in, and he makes it acrobatic catch. He kind of looks down and goes, whew, can't believe I caught that thing. That was a mile high.
Yeah.
And at one point he raised his arms up like, I can't see this thing.
Yeah, Presley Nichols didn't catch it off the bat, couldn't find it. Then he traces it, and then, well, you know, here, a little adventure. That's a little less stressful for Coach Weatherford and the Van Buren faithful when you've got an 11-run lead.
Yeah. So now that brings up Sawyer Bentley. First pitch is swung on. High fly ball left again. Buren comes in much easier that time. 2 outs now. Oh, excuse me, Nichols. I said Buren. I meant Nichols. I looked at the wrong one. I apologize. So now you've got 2 outs. Maybe Presley Nichols can record all 3 outs this inning.
Jonesboro now down to their final outs.
Josh Heineman at the plate. He's the starting pitcher of this game.
You can see that Van Buren squad starting to creep a little closer to the front of the dugout.
So the first curveball, big curveball. Boy, that looked like the curveball that started the ball game. Takes count 0-1. The 0-1 pitch is swung on and missed. It's 0-2. Johnson working quickly. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Van Buren is your Class 5A state champion. Your final score, Van Buren 12, Jonesboro 1 in the Class 5A state championship here in Benton. We'll take a break. When we come back, we will get you all wrapped up on the final in this one as you're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball Championships in Arkansas PBS Sports.
Baseball, the most watched series in PBS history, is coming home.
There he goes.
See how baseball became our national pastime and why this Ken Burns series remains an American classic.
Sign up for our newsletter to be entered to win the entire Ken Burns baseball series on DVD.
Thanks, George. Appreciate it. At Big Red Stores, we're always proud to sponsor, support, and partner up with many events and activities throughout the community. Among them, high school championships throughout the state of Arkansas. At Big Red Stores, our team members are always ready to assist you to make your visit with us a pleasant one. And at Big Red Stores, we recognize that none of our support or ability to serve the community is possible without you. That's why at Big Red Stores, you're always the MVP of the Big Red team. Big Red Stores, now more convenient than ever.
1, 2, 3, turn up! Whoa. It's going up in here! Let's go!
Go, guys.
And you see all the congratulations going around the pitcher's mound here in Benton as your final score, Van Buren 12, Jonesboro 1. And it was complete domination by Jonesboro as they put up 12 runs on 12 hits, no errors. And Jonesboro has 1 run on 4 hits and 5 errors in this ball game.
Yeah, the score, not really a real good indication of how good this baseball game was for the first 5 innings. Once the rain started and the bat started to heat up for Van Buren, the Pointers really blew this one open as Jonesboro gets their runner-up trophy there on the diamonds. But it's all about Connor Johnson. A complete game, gives up 4 hits, just 1 run, struck out 7. Really impressive day on the mound for the Van Buren starter who's headed to UCA to play his college days.
Yeah, and I tell you what, they're getting a good one. If what he did today is any indication of what he's going to do at the collegiate level, he's going to have an impressive college career. And I would definitely say, Bobby, that even though you had really the runs started scoring by Eli Gilreath back in the 2nd inning when he had the home run.
Yep.
I think no doubt, though, your MVP of this game is Connor Johnson.
Yeah, as Van Buren gets to take home their first state championship trophy, that swing of the bat from Gilreath took all the pressure off of Van Buren. Getting that first run across, getting that lead, just takes the kind of that weight off of your shoulders, able to kind of settle in. And Connor Johnson, once he got that lead, just pounded the strike zone, forced Jonesboro to try to put it into play. They couldn't do it on a consistent basis. He retired 12 in a row at one point, and that's why Van Buren is taking that title home.
Well, there you are. You see a bunch of happy faces right there with the championship trophy. We owe you one more break. When we come back, we will wrap this thing up before we head to the 5A softball game between Benton and Greenwood as you're watching the Centennial Bank State Championship baseball games on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Blueberries Clubhouse. We'll see a whole new crop of friends for the very best adventures in Arkansas.
Stay connected to your public media network. Text ARPBS to 313131 to receive the latest updates. Message and data rates may apply.
Runs in 2 innings. And back here in Benton, there are your Class 5A state champions, the Van Buren Pointers, as they take their first state championship home in school history. And what a day, Bobby. I mean, they, from pitching to hitting, they did it all today.
It started with pitching. Connor Johnson, a complete game, 1 run, 4 hits, 7 strikeouts. He set the stage for Van Buren, and once the offense started going, 2-0 going to the top of the 6th inning in this game, and then Van Buren's offense just reeled off hit after hit after hit. It really never was that big blow that you would expect to see in a huge number, but single after single after single. A lot of those with 2 outs, especially in that 6th inning. The rain came, the wheels started to kind of wobble, and then eventually fell off for the Jonesboro defense. A couple errors allowed some unearned runs to score, but 10 runs over the last 2 innings is the reason the guys in the green and white are pretty happy right now.
Well, outside of the pitching that we've talked so highly about, you also got to look at these hitters. You had Hayden Roark 3 for 5 with 2 RBI today. Sammy Seeger 2 for 5. Eli Gilreath 2 for 4 with 2 RBI. I mean, the lineup did their job.
And what you read off there, that's the top of the order.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 3 of the top 5 hitters in Van Buren's lineup. Yeah. And every time they flipped it over, you got to give a lot of credit to the bottom of the order, too. They were able to flip it over and get to the top of the order, whether it be the next half inning or the next inning, or to prolong that inning. Really good job, 1 through 9, of playing situational baseball. And, again, that's why they're the state champs.
Well, you talk about that lower half. I always want to give credit to those guys because between Presley Nichols, who went 1 for 4 with an RBI, Brecken Waters 2 for 4 with an RBI, Easton Reichert, he went 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs. I mean, you had it from the top, and you also had it from the bottom.
And they also got a great defensive effort. No errors today for Van Buren. A really nice job by Callahan behind the plate. Only 1 wild pitch on the score sheet for Johnson. Just a really good, solid baseball game, 1 through 9 at the plate and in the field for Van Buren.
Well, it rained for just a little bit, but then it went away, and hopefully it'll stay away for the rest of the evening. Is coming up at 4 o'clock, you've got the 5A softball state championships right here in Arkansas PBS Sports. That'll be a great game between Benton and Greenwood.
Right.
Undefeated Benton, right?
Yeah, Benton is undefeated. Greenwood's in the championship game, what seems like every year. They usually ran into Sheridan. This time they get Benton on their home field, but you're never going to call Greenwood an underdog because they know how to win games.
And then coming up tonight at 7 o'clock, Bobby and I will be back here doing more state championship baseball as hopefully that rain will be out of here. Yep. We don't even have to mess with that
That's
tonight.
right. That's a 6A game. Rogers taking on Springdale Harbor, 2 6A West opponents. Split their regular season matchups against one another, so their upper match gets to take home a state title, and it's just going to kick off a great 3 days down here in Central Arkansas.
Well, as Bobby talked about in this one, this was a great game through 5 innings.
It was.
And really the wheels fell off in the 6th and 7th. Hopefully we'll continue to see great baseball in the nightcap tonight. Only 2 baseball games a day. This got changed up about a year ago for those that keep up. They, instead of doing 4 games a day and then 3, they just said, you know what, we're going to spread it out over 3 games for 2 days apiece. Well, for Bobby Swalford, I'm RJ Hawk. Your final in the 5A state title game. It's Van Buren 12, Jonesboro 1. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.